Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our webinar today. We're excited to have ExpandIT with us, and joining us is Julissa Gonzalez and Taylor Rogue, and they're going to be presenting on top 5 ways service management companies are losing money and how you can fix it. And I know you're all eager to get started with the presentation, so before I pass it over to Julissa and Taylor, I just want to remind you that we are recording this webinar and it will be posted to our on-demand webinar library for you to review again or share with anyone. And if you do have any questions along the way, please feel free to type them into the questions box and we will get them answered during our Q&A time at the end of our session. And just to note, we will also be having some poll questions throughout the webinar session, so be looking for those and please get those answers in so we can get those polls tallied. All right, so now I'm going to pass it on over to Julissa to kick off our presentation.
Perfect. Thank you, Angie. So as Angie mentioned, today we're going to be discussing the top 5 ways service management companies are losing money and how a field service solution can help. And so my name is Julissa Gonzalez. I work on the marketing and business development side here at ExpandIT, and I also have Taylor Rogue, who is a field service product expert and business analyst, and she'll be speaking in just a few minutes. So we're from ExpandIT, which is a Microsoft independent software vendor and gold partner, and we build software for mobile sales and service. And additionally, our products integrate with Microsoft Dynamics BC, NAV, F&O, and AX. So we work very closely with your ERP partner, Innovia, to ensure seamless connectivity with your ERP system. So the agenda is as follows. We'll look at the objectives for this webinar. Next, we'll get into the 5 ways service companies are losing money, followed by how a field service management software can help. Taylor will then get into a couple of customer stories and discuss how the companies were losing money before implementing a digital solution compared to how their processes looked like afterwards. And we'll finish off with Q&A and next steps. So the main objective of today's webinar is to discuss the 5 main reasons we've seen service companies lose money and how a service management solution can help. And so we all know that time is money, and manual processes, scheduling, and inefficient resource utilization, low first-time fix rates, and slow invoicing are losing service companies money each day. But there is good news, and that is a service management software. And so now we're going to investigate the common areas where service and installation companies are wasting time and losing money, as well as how a field service management software can help. And so the first way that we've seen service companies lose money is by having manual processes. And we all know that running a service business, or really any business, means juggling a lot of tasks and ensuring to stay on top of them. And research has actually found that 52% of field service organizations are still using manual methods for field service. And some of the manual processes that we see in the field are using paper reports and documents while out in the field, tracking time and materials consumed manually, and also using disconnected or outdated technology to communicate. And with paper reports and documentation, for example, paper reports are prone to error and they can be misplaced, lost, or illegible. And when documentation is lost or misplaced, retrieving the original documents can be a hassle, time-consuming, and in many cases, impossible. Additionally, technicians often forget to track their time midway through a job, underestimate or overestimate the number of materials used, and all of this leads to inaccurate data. As well as using manual processes like email to communicate with technicians can be inefficient and ineffective. Technicians often don't have access to their email or don't check it regularly. And when planners or dispatchers need to communicate time-sensitive updates to technicians through email, ensuring the technicians have actually received the update is difficult to track. And before we get on to the next slide, we'll put in the first polling question here.
I've got that launched.
Perfect.
So are you using paper forms and manual processes? And check all that apply below. Okay, we have a 50-50 tie of both manual processes and digital solutions.
Okay, great. So now Taylor's going to go over how digital solutions can help with these manual processes.
So by creating forms that are on the go for the field to fill out, the back office is receiving the information almost instantaneously. Service management softwares enable the technicians to complete reports and forms digitally. Not only does this optimize your business process, but digital reporting ensures compliance. Specific questions can be marked as mandatory, and regulatory laws are also met. Having the digitalized forms and reports saves us all money by eliminating the duplication of work. Field service management softwares also can help you eliminate many of your manual processes in your business. It connects your field technicians with your office staff and with your customers. Information is easily shared and updated in real time, and the forms can collect the field data, capture signatures, questions, pictures, and then be emailed to a customer on the spot through a PDF. Or the data can be captured, reviewed in the back office, and then sent to the customer for their own records. Service management softwares also allow technicians to track time and materials used once a job or service order is started. This ensures technicians' work time and materials are used for and accounted for at all times. Expenses incurred can easily be lost when in the field, but having a mobile solution to easily collect the expenses, inventory, quick runs to the store, time, etc., it will not only save your employees time in the back office, but also the field staff is reporting their job cost information easily and on time. Once the time and materials have been submitted, they can be approved by a supervisor or manager and sent directly to the ERP for the costing purposes. We also have been able to streamline the communication from the back office to the field through messaging. The dispatchers or planners can communicate with their technicians through our mobile client. This is important when a company needs to get a message out to a team quickly. As we have seen, especially in the last year, customers have dealt with new COVID safety requirements and area shutdowns, and were able to get messages to their teams almost immediately to let them know what was going on. Before, they were having to contact each of their employees individually or through email, which is not always checked by field service technicians. So these messages can save time by communicating to all of their users at once and to their staff as well, rather than contacting them individually. These messages can be sent to our client through a text message or email related to the customer as well. This will also be kept as history in our messaging section and be sent out and reviewed easily.
And so the second way service companies are losing money is with scheduling. And so getting the right person to the right job with the right tools at the right time is critical for your business. And in fact, Verizon Connect research has found that 25% of field service organizations are still using spreadsheets for job scheduling, while the rest still use whiteboards and other manual methods. And this manual approach to scheduling makes it difficult to react to changes or quickly make adjustments. And so a manual scheduling process can be inefficient and often leads to errors or miscommunications. And when companies schedule work orders or jobs on standalone solutions like whiteboards, Excel files, or email, having a complete overview of the scheduled jobs can get very messy and chaotic. And so a service management solution helps with these scheduling inefficiencies by allowing planners and dispatchers to have a complete overview of resources, by enabling planners or dispatchers to communicate with technicians and customers, and by allowing them to be able to view the status of jobs or service orders.
Our solution will give the dispatchers a digital schedule which minimizes the trips technicians make to the office and ensures they have an overview of their job details at the tip of their fingers. This also allows dispatchers to have a complete view of scheduled jobs and resources being utilized, which eliminates any manual tracking of resources being used and optimizes the processes, which in turn saves money. All job details are visible to the dispatcher and can be seen on a map which shows nearby users and jobs. Again, the dispatchers and planners can communicate with their field technicians, but also their end customers when sending messages through our solution. This improves customer satisfaction by keeping them in the loop. Those messages are also tracked for easy reference for any dispatcher. The messages can be sent internally to an email or to a cell phone text message. From the planning board, the dispatcher is also able to see the status of a planned visit that has been scheduled. As long as the mobile device is online and has service, the updated statuses are sent to your planning board immediately. This gives the dispatcher an easy view of their schedule and status of the visit. At all times, the dispatcher should be able to answer a question from their customer, reduce double bookings of the resources, and know what each resource is working on and what step of the process they are in.
And so the third way service companies are losing money is with inefficient resource utilization. So to better explain this, I'll paint a picture. So let's say you have 100 service technicians in the field covering a huge geographic territory. While everyone can perform most tasks, we all have to understand that some people are better at certain tasks and some technicians perform very specialized services. And as a service organization, you not only have to juggle the skills of your technicians, but also their geographic locations when trying to respond to service requests. And getting it right has a huge impact on customer satisfaction. And so a service management solution can help by providing mapping capabilities that optimize routes, having a single source of information, and by providing companies the option to approve work that has been completed out in the field.
Our field service management software includes a built-in map showing the location of your service technicians as well as the location of the job and estimated travel time, which enables dispatchers to make informed decisions about the right person for the job when geography is a factor. The map is useful for dispatchers as well who are planning across multiple states or even city lines. Our system can help optimize routes and resources, leading to a reduction in travel time and improved response time. The map capabilities will visually help any dispatcher. Also, having a single source of information is key when planning work. The planner or dispatcher may be juggling multiple functions of the process and needs all information to be seen in all pertinent information to be seen quickly at once. Having a quick access to the service job information will make scheduling a breeze. Our system receives the ERP updates and will also send approved information back to the ERP for the next person in the process. Knowing where the resources are or who is near is useful, so scheduling can be done quickly and without having callbacks and dry runs. Being most efficient when scheduling not only saves the money for your company, but it also improves your customer satisfaction. Approving consumed time and materials from our system is very easy. We are displaying the information that is needed to be reviewed, and the information is then sent into the ERP system. The time and materials can be modified, added, or deleted before it is sent to the ERP from within ExpandIT. This will also allow the next step in the process to have the information without any manual processes for checking consumed time and materials. We do have an auto approval capability as well, which will streamline the information coming from the field to the ERP system, but we do always suggest reviewing what has been submitted from your field.
And so a fourth reason service companies are losing money is low first-time fix rates. So some questions you want to ask yourself is, are your service technicians properly prepared for jobs? That meaning, do they have the tools and parts they need to complete a job the first time? And what about access to previous job history or other critical information they would need to get the job completed correctly the first time? Research from the Aberdeen Group has found that best-in-class field service organizations resolve the issue on the first visit 88% of the time, while average companies achieve an 80% rate and the laggards struggle at 63%. All of this means that in many cases, over 20% of customers are unhappy with the service being provided. And this has an impact in the long-term business processes. And so a service management software can help by having a solution that is integrated to your ERP system, by providing a digital schedule for your technicians, and by allowing your technicians to access previous reports and history about a job that they will be servicing. And so just before we get on to the next slide, we'll pop the other polling question in here.
If everyone could answer that question, how many field or floor technicians would be able to leverage mobile technology in your organization? And select the one that applies to your company. Okay, and they said between 10 and 25.
Perfect. So now Taylor will explain maybe the ways that if the field technicians could utilize these digital solutions.
Yes. So integrating with the Microsoft Dynamics ERP systems helps ensure data can be retrieved as required and enabling service technicians to prepare more effectively for a service visit or increasing the first time fix rates. All data collected in the field can be reviewed, modified, and sent directly to the accounting system for costing, billing, and invoicing. Having a seamless integration is key to making multiple systems feel like they are a one-stop shop. Also, the field technicians have a digital schedule, which reduces the number of trips the technician has to make to and from the office to see the schedule, which may have previously been on a whiteboard or a printed piece of paper. When changes are made, they are seen immediately when online. Before, the company may have had to notify each resource to let them know of those schedule changes that were made causing a delay in response time or even dead trips in the field. The technicians can view any work scheduled to them for the day, week, month, etc., however far out you possibly are scheduling. They are able to see all job details to have them prepared for the job at hand. If there is any prep work they need to do, it will be clearly stated on their mobile device of what is expected for the job and that they have been assigned. One of our other key features is accessing the historical work for a given customer, service item, or even job, which is very important for somebody that's out in the field. If there's multiple visits being scheduled, the field should know what has previously happened to make sure they are only working on what has been assigned to them or what is needing to be done. Having access to the forms previously filled out or pictures of the work that has been done or the condition of the job site which it was left in previously can help the current visit be accomplished much quicker. All of the history gives a complete picture of the job site. The history will show previous work orders, materials consumed, time consumed, forms that have been filled out, comments or messages that have been made, and pictures that have been saved.
Perfect. And so now the fifth reason we've seen companies lose money, and it is by having a slow invoicing period. So every day that service companies wait for information to come in from the field about service work performed is lost profit. And so something to ask yourself is, are manual processes, paper documents, and disconnected systems making invoicing a slow process for you? If the answer is yes, and if sending invoices out takes weeks after a job is completed, it's time to find a better way or to at least learn about the options that exist. And in this age, customers expect to use modern, on-demand technology that enables them to self-serve. And a service management solution can help improve the invoicing period by enabling customers to use self-service portals 24/7, enabling customers to pay and view invoices online, and by allowing customers to request additional service visits online.
So we have a self-service portal which enables our customers to not only pay, or your customers to not only pay invoices online, but encompasses all interactions with that customer, which reduces the administrative cost for service companies. Customers have the ability to request service calls, report incidents, or even see where a particular visit stands. Maybe the technician has been dispatched to the site and they were not notified yet. They can always log in and see where the visit status is. The customer will know the service technician is now on their way. Also, being able to pay or view invoices reduces the customer wait time to receive the invoice, but it also allows companies to receive payment with online payment capabilities. The invoicing period is reduced, which provides companies better cash flow. As we all know, cash flow is key. So having the capability for the customers to see what invoices are outstanding, those can be paid right away. Using the self-service portal, customers are able to access the history of a job site, fill out reports, job information for completed work, etc. Customers can also request and schedule additional service visits from the self-service portal. This will reduce the amount of administrative tasks needing to be done, the wait time of having somebody administratively respond. The dispatcher will see that there is a service request, and once approved, it will be released for scheduling.
Perfect. So now that we've gone through the 5 reasons we've historically seen service companies lose money and how a service management solution helps, we'll share 2 of our customer stories, and Taylor will discuss the pain points that organizations faced and how they were losing money, followed by how a field service solution helped them optimize their processes.
So we have a customer who is the leading manufacturer and distributor of off-highway power solutions in the mid-US. So prior to them implementing a mobile field service solution, the main pain points this customer experienced were manual processes, which delayed the whole process of a job or project. If technicians forgot to submit or lost their paperwork, they would not get paid. And because of the manual processes in place, the invoicing period was always delayed. So notes from the dispatcher were written down, not able to be read or forgotten about. So being able to send in information from the mobile device allowed their dispatchers to streamline the process and gave them more time to react to anything that was needing their attention. And then after they implemented the mobile field service solution, the scheduling was a lot smoother. The planners had a complete overview of their field resources, which increased their amount of jobs the technicians were able to complete in a given workday. They were also able to invoice their customer within 24 hours, and the customer received a full summary and invoice right away, which helps the company improve their cash flow. The paperwork was no longer lost or forgotten. The technicians could fill out all of their required forms digitally on the job, and everything was automatically stored in the right place. By having an integrated and connected system, the communication between the planners and technicians had improved dramatically. Also, another small business that customer who is a water filtration company in Canada was looking for an integrated, scalable solution that could solve some of their inefficiencies in their processes. The main pain points that the organization was experiencing was costing them a lot of money. So they had a lot of manual processes. They were not able to utilize their current solution to be scalable. They had complaints about outdated technology from their customers, and they were having poor communication. The organization previously did not have a connected or integrated system in place, so many of their operational processes were manual. For example, the planner would have to schedule the service jobs for the technician on a daily basis. So the technicians would have to come into the office each day just to take a picture of what they would be doing for the day. The manual processes that were in place were draining their systems and resources. There was a lot of duplicate work. For example, the technicians would write down notes that would go on the job site, and then the planner would have to retype those notes before sending it off for approval. Another concern was scalability. The company was rapidly expanding and growing across Canada. Unfortunately, with their disconnected system in place, it would be very difficult for the organization to keep up with the growing demand. Planners and dispatchers were using a lot of time planning and scheduling their technicians. Those technicians would have to make multiple trips, reducing their production time on the job. The service organization was in need of an integrated solution that would address their main pain points. Another concern that customers had was the outdated technology. When technicians would do a service call, they would give them a full report of what they did, and often what happened was the customer would be unable to read the handwriting, so customers would not know what was even completed. After the filtration company implemented mobile field service solutions, they improved their business process by receiving real-time feedback, improved planning and reporting, faster invoicing, finding scheduling efficiencies, eliminating manual processes, and accurate information. They were able to receive the real-time feedback from customers. For example, if a customer needed to request another service call, they simply would request the service call through the online portal. In the case that customers had to review any forms or reports, they had access to their information 24/7 on our online service portal. They no longer had to rely on the customer service representative to answer any questions or concerns. Additionally, if there was any information that the customer wanted to give, the planner or technician could now easily communicate with them via the messenger tool of the service portal. This filtration company now had the ability to send the invoice to customers much faster. The invoice included pictures and all reports that were required to be filled out, so the customer knew exactly what had been done for that particular service job. As a result of eliminating the manual processes, duplicate work was also reduced. It now takes the company fewer steps to get to the end result than it did before. Since operations are streamlined, the organization was able to reduce their manual work. Before, any notes or forms that were collected by the field technicians had to be re-entered by the planner at this organization. But now when the technician collects any forms or notes, they are stored directly to their database and can be shared with their customer. Planning was improved significantly. Technicians can now look at the schedule beforehand and look at the long-term plan on their phone or tablet by being able to see their schedule beforehand. The organization was able to find scheduling inefficiencies as well. For example, the technicians completed a service job earlier than expected. They now call the planner to confirm if they can move on to the next job before the end of the workday. Using a mobile field service software has enabled their organization to be more efficient. So after they've streamlined their processes, the mobile client has helped their technicians during, before, and after their service job is completed. Prior to going to the job site, the technicians are able to look at the history of that job, and they are also able to see any work that was previously done, not completed, and what they needed to do in this current visit. Additionally, they knew exactly what equipment to bring, and during that service job, the technician could track their time and any materials used from their trucks, write down any notes that needed to be collected, and after the job is completed, the technician was able to submit compliance forms signed by the customers. With the mobile client, customers and technicians can all sign out forms and collect signatures right on the device. Their reporting has dramatically improved. By having an easy to fill out report on site, reports are then collected and stored to their database. This reduced a lot of errors. For example, the paper forms were often lost or not legible, so the manager was having to make sense of what they could read and put their own notes in there. Now all of the forms are digitalized and the reporting errors are significantly reduced. So to conclude, all of these amazing benefits from using a mobile field service solution led to the improved processes and cost savings for this company. It also allowed their field service technicians to focus on customer satisfaction while completing more jobs in a day, which improved their sales.
Thank you. So now just to recap what we discussed. And so we discussed the 5 main reasons service companies are losing money and how a service management solution can help. So the first reason was manual processes, and manual processes can be eliminated by digitizing paper reports and forms, digitally tracking time and materials consumed, and by streamlining communications. The second reason was scheduling. And scheduling can be optimized by enabling planners and dispatchers to have a complete overview of resources, by being able to communicate with technicians and customers, and by having planners and dispatchers be able to view the status of jobs or service orders. The third reason why service companies were losing money is with inefficient resource utilization. And this can be solved with mapping capabilities that optimize routes, having a single source of information, and by providing companies the option to approve work that has been completed in the field. The fourth reason was low first-time fix rates. So this can be improved by having a solution that is integrated to your ERP system, and by providing a digital schedule for your technicians as well, and by allowing your technicians to access previous reports and history about a job that they will be servicing. And lastly, the fifth reason we saw service companies lose money is with slow invoicing. And slow invoicing can be improved by enabling customers to use self-service portals, by enabling customers to pay and view invoices online, and by enabling customers to request additional service visits online. And so as for next steps, what should you do next? Well, first, it would be a good idea to write down the pain points your organization is facing. It's also helpful to consult with your ERP partner as well, so Innovia, and then together we can look into how to best solve these problems for you. And so now we'll take some questions from the audience. Angie, I'll pass it on to you so you can read them out loud.
Okay, thank you, Julissa. The first one is, what types of documents can be digitized? Can pictures be captured in the software?
Yes, so all forms that you may have within the organization, we have a tool within our product where you can create and maintain those forms. So we have multiple field options where we have drop downs, yes, no, not applicable, signature boxes, as well as requiring pictures, things like that, where you can basically build your form and create mandatory or dependent fields so that it all goes together. And then that way you can say that these particular fields are required, and then the mobile tech will not be able to close out of that job until it is completed and filled out.
Okay, thank you. And the next one is, can the solution be customized so it fits the needs of the service company?
Yes, so our system is able to be customized for the service company, but we will always try to get the service company to fit within our essentials customer, which is not customizable. So that's just our standard product. But after evaluating from a business analyst, a programmer, product expert, whichever one it is concluded that the service company does need customizations, we will suggest the change of licensing to a premium customer.
Okay, thank you. And the last one is, does the solution work offline?
Yes, we do have offline capabilities, which a lot of our customers do use, especially those who are in the service industry. They're, sometimes in basements, sometimes they're up on a tower, whatever the case may be. We do have offline capabilities. And what our system does is it actually pings to look for reception or service every 30 seconds. And it's constantly looking to see if it can go back online to gather or send any data to the dispatcher. And then if you are, let's say, driving, it goes back offline because you lost your reception. It will go to an offline mode as well.
Okay, great. Thank you. I believe those are all the questions that we had for you guys today. If anybody has any further questions, please feel free to contact your account manager at Innovia Consulting, or Julissa, do you have a contact info?
Yes, I'll display it here.
Oh, there we go. There's that information for you. So I just want to thank everyone for attending. Thank you, Julissa and Taylor, for presenting.
Yep, thank you, Innovia, for having us, and we look forward to having future discussions in the future on how we can help service companies.
All right. Well, I want to let you know that we do have more training sessions for Innovia coming up. You can visit our website at innovia.com/workshops for more information and to register for the training workshop that fits your role. And we do have more webinars coming up. Thursday, we have our very own Amanda Ajero presenting on speed up your revenue and expenses process with deferral templates. And next Tuesday, we have Aaron Strawn from Jet Global presenting on improving capital management and cash flow with Jet reports and analytics. So check out our website for more of our upcoming events, and that's inovia.com/events. And we do have a podcast that's going on. It's called the Inovia Conversation, and we just want to encourage you to listen to our selection that our hosts, Steve Waltz and Jeff Progolski, have provided to us. And you can find out all about the different podcast platforms to listen to on our podcast page, and that's inovia.com/podcast. So check out the selection and subscribe so you'll be notified when those new episodes air. All right, once again, thank you everyone for joining us. Thank you, Julissa and Taylor, for presenting, and we look forward to seeing you soon on another Inovia webinar.